what your sort of vision or theory is on how agents, not even maybe for Agentuity, but like just like the standard of how you think those agents are going to be deployed. Like because kind of like right now, the sort of the standard for the web is serverless, stateless.
Yep.
Everything's just cached and everything like that. What do you think the future of agents is going to be?
Yeah, so so I think it's going to change because you have an agent that needs state. It's
Right.
stateful. It needs to be long running. I mean, not all agents need to be long running.
True.
A lot of them will be long running. They just need a different view of all of this stuff.
Right.
And that's why we say we're building an agent native cloud. You take all the big cloud providers, even now as they're launching AI things on top of their products, it's like these bolt-on things, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's like built for it.
It's not built for it, exactly. And so you'll have like this veneer marketing layer of like, oh, this is agent stuff for whatever, and then you go down deeper and it's like it's just your same logging thing, your same container service. It's all the same stuff because they have innovator's dilemma,
Right.
They can't cannibalize their existing business, and they're not going to rewrite it
Right.
for agents. And so our premise is let's build something not really for humans. I mean, humans are here, so like it's for us developers, but for agents. And when you frame it that way, you might build logging very differently.
Sure.
Because like, if I were to ask you, hey, how should we build logging and observability on a new cloud? You'd be like, well, you got to have a dashboard. Probably need a query language to get down to nitty gritty things. And all these things that are human centric.
Yeah.
Well, what if you build it for an agent?
Well,
What does an agent need to do?
Yeah. You probably would think about different protocol for communication, right? Because English is so inefficient at communicating with certain pieces of information. Like there's so many filler words and whatnot. I imagine you would be really concerned with saving your tokens.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Very interesting. So can you walk us through what the process looks like for defining an agent with your product service?
So for defining an agent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, let's start with like the broader thing, which is the definition of an agent.
Right.
And here's the thing.
Yeah, everybody's kind of different.
Everybody's
What
got
isn't an agent at this point?
right, exactly. I mean,
I'm
that's
an
the thing.
agent.
Right, I know. An LLM calling us an agent, right? So I don't want to be. I intentionally am not pedantic about it,
Right.
Because there's just different types of agents,
Yeah.
right? So I just try to get it. Actually, I like OpenAI's definition from I can't remember it word for word, but from a couple of weeks ago, it was basically like, does it have a little bit of agency? Is it non-deterministic, and does it have goals and orient? It was just really simple. It wasn't like super pedantic.
Yep.
And so I like that. So anyway, for us in our infrastructure, an agent is a first-class citizen. So what that means is there is a database where there's an ID for that agent in the system.
And it's reusable.
Right. You can spin it up, you can spin it down. It has a history of sessions. And so it's a first-class citizen versus like, something that's
Like
maybe
a chat completions or something like that. That can be used for anything. I think expanding on that, an agent has a purpose, whereas for what's the AI SDK? It's like chat.completions or whatever.
Right.
That doesn't really have a purpose other than to provide an LLM response.
Right.
The agent has a specific niche purpose where it can actually focus on, I'm good at data query. I'm good at summarization. I'm good at what we talked about earlier. I'm good at prompting another agent type thing.
Exactly.
So I think that pretty much nails it down where everything, because I think when OpenAI initially released GPT-3 or 3.5, the idea was that we're going to have this one big AGI supermodel that can do everything. But I feel like it's sort of shifted to where we're not going to have a big model. We're going to have a lot of mini or little or medium models that are really good at niche things that then like bigger models can decide to use and to decide to give tasks out to and whatnot. Because isn't that kind of what Devin is based on? It has that like agency where it can like deploy like, hey, go do this or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And it could be a model or a series of models, but also again, back to agents, there's agents running around that stuff. So even like when you're using the reasoning stuff in Gemini or what's it called, deep research mode or whatever, and some of the other ones too, it's not just one model. It's actually agents and some other things doing a bunch of tasks and stuff.
Yeah. So there's like mixture of experts approach to creating models that have like certain data sets, chunked submodels. There are agentic systems. Do you see mixture of experts models being a thing moving forward, or we're moving away from that for good?
Yeah, it's hard to tell, but I think people like it's the same thing with chain of thought.
Right.
It's like, oh, this is the way. And then 2 months later, this is the way. And
Wait,
then,
that wasn't the way. Go back to the other way.
Yeah, but it's a pattern that is useful.
Right.
Right.
Okay, so you described that you would be creating an agent, you would get a unique identifier. How do you allocate resources for it? Do you figure it out for your customer?
It's a good question. So the customer can declare what they think their container for that agent needs resource-wise.
Okay.
So you can say there's a configuration file. You can say, I need a gigabyte of RAM.
Right.
We'll take care of it. And then, of course, we'll alert you if there's problems or whatever.
Yeah.
The user can, just like you can, like Heroku or whatever, say, I want a bigger box or bigger container or whatever. You can kind of...
Yeah. Very cool.
So you can like expand it as the capability needs and whatnot. That's cool.
Yeah.
Now, when those initial user, because I think ChatGPT tried this a while ago, but I haven't heard anything else from them. Do you have a sort of method where it's basically you can chat with an agent that makes agents to then make more agents type thing? But I think that because people don't know what they need agents for, and I think I'm gonna grow weary of the word agent. I'm like, if there was an agent or some sort of middle layer to be able to see like, hey, you need this. This is why you need this or whatnot. I think that'd be helpful. Do you have plans for something like that?
Yeah, we do, and we've been actively talking about it. In fact, a lot of people here are talking about it too. So right now we don't have like a vibe coding, like agent builder type thing, right? But we do have a way to build agents. We have an MCP server, so if you hook it up to Cursor, you can tell Cursor to go build an agent, and it'll deploy it and all that.
That's awesome.
But eventually we'll get there.
Yeah.
We're focused on infrastructure and all that first. Our premise is there's going to be millions of these things.
Yeah.
So we're trying to build that.
I think that's good because you want to have the backbone so that way if something blows up, not in the bad way, but in the good way, and it becomes very, very popular and whatnot, then you can have the infrastructure and you can be prepared for that.
Right.
Because from what I see, I was talking to you earlier, I was like, just even talking to you and seeing the possibilities of it, agents definitely look like, and I'm sure we'll be here in a year being like, so agents weren't the thing, but no, from what I see right now, it seems like agents are the way to go because you have that sort of expanded external mixture of experts to be able to be consulted on for research. Where do you see the company, and this is a really hard question, where do you see the company in like a year? Because all of this stuff is changing so much.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think software will be primarily written in agents for agents in the future. Whether that's a year, or 6 months, or 3 years, I don't know. But I think most of the deterministic programming will be determined by agents.
I want to have him on for another episode because I keep want to talking about this. There's
this
so much to be explored.
Yeah.
I feel like if we do like a in 6 months.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? What's it in like Shark Tank where it's like what happened?
Yeah.
We definitely would love to have you on for that because like you said, you started this 11 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible, man.
Yeah.
That is incredible. Was this
awesome.
your launch here?
Oh yeah, this was our public preview. We gave out a bunch of free credits and got a bunch of people spun up on it and just hammering away, building some agents,
Can anyone go online and try out your product?
Yes, yeah, you can just go up, sign up, and...
So what's the website?
Agentuity.com.
Agentuity.com. All right.
Yeah. Check it out. I think it's really cool. I know I'm going to be using it for my project because like I was talking to you, I was like, wait, because I'm working on an app called Aegis, which is like AI accountability, task tracking, and stuff like that. And I was having a whole pain dealing with like serverless AI agents running with cron jobs. And I'm like, wait a second, this solves my problem.
Yeah.
But man, it's been a pleasure to
nice to meet
talk with you. super
meet you.
viable insights. So
Cool.
yeah, thanks
Yeah.
for coming on.
Yeah. Thank
All
you.
right.